안녕하세요. 밴쿠버 인사이트입니다. 최근에 알버타주 수상 다니엘 스미스를 말하라고 해서 트럼프의 만남을 주선한 케빈 올리어리가 있습니다. 그는 1954년 캐나다 몬트리올에서 태어난 캐나다인이며 그는 사업가이자 투자 전문가이기도 합니다. 많은 분들이 케빈을 알게 된 계기는 미국의 인기 투자 리얼리티 쇼 샤크 탱크입니다. 그는 이 쇼에서 날카로운 질문과 냉철한 판단력으로 미스터 원더풀이라는 별명을 얻었습니다. 케빈은 단순한 투자자나 사업가가 아닙니다. 그는 자신의 성공 철학을 전 세계에 전파하여 많은 사람들에게 영감을 주는 강연자이기도 합니다. 그의 핵심 메시지는 바로 돈은 감정이 없다. 모든 것은 숫자로 판단하라 라는 것입니다. 이번 시간에는 트럼프가 발언한 캐나다 51번째 주에 대하여 캐나다인 대표 기업인으로서 케빈의 의견을 들어볼 것입니다.
What's so important about understanding how Donald Trump works is to realize that there are two elements to his narrative. Number one, there's the noise, and then there's the signal. And you have to learn how to distinguish the noise from the signal because he says bombastic things, outrageous things, and causes a tremendous amount of controversy. And all of this is policy by social media right now. He knows he enjoys that all around the world. However, when you focus on the signal, that is where the opportunity is. And I think where Canadians are getting lost in this narrative because we're in a unique situation. We're leaderless. And so we have all of these barbs being thrown back and forth across the border. That's all noise. The opportunity is in the signal, and the signal is where we should be focused because Danielle Smith nailed it when she said, in the tonality of her narrative with Trump was very constructive because you think about the opportunity all of these leaders have had in the last 2 months. And what people don't realize is this is an opportunity to go off the record with Trump and form a personal relationship with his cabinet. She didn't squander that opportunity. Many others did. So now she's the only politician in Canada that has not only a personal relationship with Trump, but with many of the cabinet. That signals an economic union that's the most powerful on earth. There is no question. Nobody's going to trade sovereignty. No one's going to sell Canada. No one wants to be sold. Nobody wants to give up their sovereignty, either do Americans. But the opportunity, for example, to create a common currency, which makes a lot of sense, I guarantee you now, 11 out of 10 Canadians would rather trade their Trudeau pesos for US dollars tonight. Number one. And all of the commodities we sell globally are denominated in US dollars anyways. That's number one. And of course, we need a couple of seats on the Fed, and we'd have to interact with the Bank of Canada with the Fed. But that's a giant economic union. Then there's the opportunity to eradicate all tariffs, not just North and South, but East and West. We have all kinds of stupid tariffs in Canada between provinces, notably the milk deal that Alberta pays for Quebec farmers to produce dairy products that they throw out. You know, Vermont's pretty pissed off about that. And they'd like to see those go away, and they'd like to compete. So that's an opportunity. And then there's the creation of an EU-style uni-passport, which controls immigration. It would be very good for Canada because if you're a Canadian citizen in good standing with a Canadian passport or an American in the same situation, both countries has veto power. But if you get approved, you have the ability to move freely between both jurisdictions and pay one tax rate. It's very attractive, but you also control who comes in for education with that. It's a great idea. And I asked Trump personally, and I don't know if this fell on deaf ears, to say, look, why not give Canada a break so they can elect a leader like you were elected with a 4-year majority mandate, let them do the same thing, and then negotiate with that team. I know he wants that pipeline. How do you get that? You need Danielle Smith. You need Alberta. You need to build that in cooperation with Canada. That gives total independence and security to the U.S. economy, and it brings in another $300 to $400 billion into Canada. This is number one on Trump's agenda to tariff Canada. I would say that's not the case. These moves are going to come through after he's president. Everything we've seen so far is on a personal basis at his home, and she was wise enough to spend not 1 day, 2 days. That woman knows how to work a room. I can report that to you. She's very smart at that. And my goodness, she scored a lot of points with a lot of different people in the cabinet.
Right.
It's the government that took a quarter of the Canadian population into poverty, and they're going soon.
Okay.
You are not distinguishing the signal. You don't get it. This is a large, difficult negotiation we're starting, and it goes towards an economic union. That's where we're going. Get over it.
영상 중에 잊지 못하는 말은 현재 캐나다인들에게는 리더가 지금 없다입니다. 시간을 주면 어떠냐고 트럼프에게 말을 전했다고 하는 것은 캐나다인으로서 진심을 이야기한 것 같습니다. 오늘도 함께 해주셔서 감사합니다.